So let's look at a slightly different type of production. In this song that I recorded, a lot of these, a lot of the drum tracks down here starts out with just a cajon drum right here. Now that's a loop that comes right, I believe, out of the Reason sound bank. And I don't think that was a third-party one. I think that's straight from their sound bank. So they spend a lot of time making these loops sound really, really good. So you notice what I've done here. This is what EQ section looks like on the Reason mixer. And we basically have a low frequency, a low mid frequency, a high mid frequency, and a high frequency up here. And both the low and the high are normally shelving unless we turn this bell on. In fact, let me just turn this on and I'll bring this up so that we can see exactly what's going on right here. So you can see the low is a shelving unless we hit the bell, and then it can be a bell right there. It is a fixed width. There's no Q on this, but then you can slide that around as you can if it's a shelving as well. But you can see the differences there. They default to having both the top and the bottom just being shelving frequencies. So we'll just bring that back to where it was. Same thing up the top. You can do that, or else you can have the bell shape as well. And then in the middle, we have two parametric EQs in the low mid frequencies and the high mid frequencies. And then, like any of these EQs, you can boost or cut, narrow the Q or widen the Q, and then move that around the frequency spectrum there. Anyway, so that's what's going on inside this this EQ, and for all of these tracks, you can switch this EQ in or out. And you'll notice that along here, there's a number of things that have EQ enable and a number of things that don't. Let's have a look at them. So we've got the cajon drum and a drum kit, which I think just has like a tambourine and some cymbal crashes on it. Also some shakers and various other cymbals as well as there's some wind chimes. All of these are samples within the Reason sound bank, and as such, there's no problems in them. I mean, you might want to go in there and EQ them a little bit, but I mean, if they're sounding pretty good out of the box, and let's just solo all of these in here and start from the top. So there's a shaker there, and then I think a tambourine and some, that's right. And the kick and the snare, well, they're not really kicking the snare. If you've ever seen the cajon drums, they're basically a box that you sit on and you play them with your hands. And also some wind chimes that come in, and I guess a cymbal crash as well. So here's a good example of things that I just, you don't have to EQ everything. Let's go across here to other things that don't have EQ on the piano. The piano sounds great right out of the box. That is a premium set, I believe. They're just called the Reason pianos. They're really, really, really pretty pianos. And then a pad, sounds fine just as it is. So basically, the only thing I'm EQing here are all the vocals. There's a lead double. There's an echo that comes up in the bridge that I've EQ'd to sound kind of like, have that radio effect. We'll talk about that in a sec. And then we have all of our background vocals. And the only other things that are EQ'd are our bass, all of our guitars. So let's start with the guitars.